The United States is set to welcome up to 100,000 Ukrainians and other fleeing refugees from Russia's aggression. This, as we suffer multiple record-breaking border crises of our own, thanks to Biden's addiction to illegal immigration. And breaking today, Joe Biden has made a rule change, not sure that this is legal at all, authorizing U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services officers, not immigration judges, to determine the validity of asylum claims and choose whether or not to release illegals into the interior. Joining me now is the only Latino nationally syndicated columnist in our great land for outlets like the Daily Beast, Washington Post, host of the Ruben in the Center podcast, Ruben Navarrette. Nice to see you, old friend. A recent piece of yours is outraging a lot of people on the left, saying that we ought to prioritize over these illegal aliens, Ukrainians over that border. But with over 2.5 million illegal aliens streaming into the country already because of Joe Biden, shouldn't we be in America more focused on stopping illegal immigration rather than worrying about getting more folks into the U.S.?
Well, what you just said there, Christopher, exactly right. That's why this piece was hated by the right and the left. It is true. Liberal Democrats, the degree there is an open border lobby, I think it's a lot smaller than you might agree, but it doesn't matter. They don't like it. They didn't like the piece because they said, you're discriminating against Central Americans and Haitians and saying that somehow Ukrainians should get to the front of the line. Why? Because they have white skin? But that wasn't the entire story. The other story was the right-wingers, the people on the restrictionist wing who said exactly what you said. Wait a minute. Let's get focused on the border first, and we'll figure out the Ukrainian thing second. We shouldn't be bringing people in. Those people are wrong. People on right and left are wrong. My position, I wrote this piece for the Daily Beast. I said in the piece a week and a half ago, we ought to let in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. And 4 days later, the US government said, we're going to do that. So yeah, somebody's watching me, somebody's reading me, they're doing what I'm saying. They're going to let in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. Now, this is why you need to have, and there are 5 reasons this needs to happen, Chris. One is because this is a special case. In fact, we say over and over again about the Ukrainians, we can't do this. We can't close the skies over Ukraine. We'll have a nuclear war. So we can't do this, but we can do this. This is something we can do and we should do. Secondly, these poor people are struck between 2 icebergs, Putin and Biden, the US and Russia. And we're talking about World War III, and they're squeezed in between. They have earned special consideration because of that. Thirdly, Vladimir Putin considers these people to be vermin to be exterminated. He's trying to kill them. We're going to say, no, you're not vermin to be exterminated. You're an asset, an advantage to any country. We're going to bring you in. It's going to be a tremendous PR move, rubbing Putin's face in it. Fourth, they're running from the devil. They're not streaming away from drug gangs in Central America. They're running from the devil in the form of Vladimir Putin. And lastly, we need to make up for history. I love this country, Chris Salcedo, but we disgraced ourselves in the 1930s when we turned away Jews who were fleeing Nazi Germany. We get a do-over. We never get a do-over. We ought to do it right this time.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you can thank the New York Times for their editorial stance on the Jews back in the 30s. Meantime, Border Patrol agents in Eagle Pass, Texas, they say they were removed from their regular duties so that they can go babysit Joe Biden's illegal aliens. Now, my sources are telling me that we're seeing in Eagle Pass the first step in a long-term plan that's going to leave our borders completely unprotected and the eventual killing of Title 42. Now, as the son of a cop, you cannot be in favor of this.
Yeah, as a son of a cop, I also study government. I've written about government as an institution for the last 30 years. Here's what's going to happen. The Department of Homeland Security under Republicans and Democrat administrations runs on a $60 billion a year budget. About $15 billion of that is for border security. That's never going to go away. It's never going to decrease. It's only going to get bigger. Bureaucracies, and now I'm going to sound like a Republican, right? Bureaucracies, whether it's the welfare department or the border security department, they just grow. They become animals all to themselves, right? They're never going to roll it back. So because of that, you never have to worry about it.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue. Well, hold on, Ruben. That's not the issue here. The issue is having your Border Patrol agents paid. It could be the biggest agency in the federal government, which it's not, but it should be, is paying them to be babysitters, changing diapers and being Walmart greeters to welcome in illegal aliens when their job is to stop illegal aliens from coming into this country. That's the issue, their mission, not how big their bureaucracy is at this point.
So I think you're mixing up a couple of things here. If you come as a Ukrainian, you're not coming as an illegal immigrant. The whole process of coming.
I'm not talking about Ukraine. I'm just talking about.
Well,
no. I don't want to mix this up. Hold on.
Come here. If you come
Hold on.
here,
I don't want to mix this up. I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about Ukraine. I'm just talking about a separate issue now, the borders, which you have written about extensively. I'm just talking about the border issue and how Joe Biden is set to make us all less safe. And I'm asking you, is that something you're going to back?
Yeah, I don't agree that that's what's happening. Here's what I think is happening. If you have 20,000 Border Patrol agents, $60 billion a year, if they have drones and helicopters and vehicles, you do not have an open border. You're never going to have an open border. And the reason you're never going to have an open border is because you have a bureaucracy that demands more resources. Go ahead.
Rube, I gotta go. But look at the story. They're pulling back those assets as you just talked about in Eagle Pass. They're pulling them back to go change diapers instead of keeping out narco-terrorists and drug smugglers. They're not being told to do their job. Ruben Navarrette, we'll get you back on to talk about it. Thank you, my friend.